What's going on, YouTube? How you doing? How you doing? First and foremost, man, I want to thank everyone for the love and support. And like I always say, man, I will always be humble and thankful for that. And I just got to give y'all a big salute. And I love y'all. Now, before we get started, please hit that subscribe button for your boy. Please hit that subscribe button for your boy. Africans. I'm pretty sure y'all seen that interview with on Godfrey podcast. And they was talking to this actor, David Olunge, or Luwu, or whatever his name is. And basically, this is what he said. He said, the Southern Black American accent is basically a Nigerian accent slowed down with slavery and subservience added. That's what he said. And before I get started, I'm going to play this clip so y'all can hear from y'all own mouth.
If you take the Nigerian accent like this and you slow it down, you put a lot of slavery in there.
Facts.
And then you start to put a little bit of subservience in it. This is what starts to happen to the Nigerian accent.
Man.
It goes this because literally, if you're down here and you start to speed it up and then you start to take all the thing out of it, then before you know it, you're talking like this.
Now we are free again.
Now we are free. We are
Now, you heard what he said. Now, number one, I think he's upset, and reason why he said that because we've been dragging a lot of Africans, a lot of Caribbeans, a lot of non-black Americans that play our roles. And they can't play our roles like our black Americans can play our own icons. Let me say it like that. When he played Martin Luther King, it was trash. We didn't feel it. I think I looked at the first 15 minutes of it, man, I changed it. I started looking at Dragon Ball Z or something. I don't even watch Dragon Ball Z. But when he play our roles, it just don't come off right. Even when he played Bass Reeves, it didn't come out right. I think I watched 20 minutes of that and I got instantly disgusted. Because I just didn't feel it. Me knowing this dude is an African and he's from Britain or he a British dude or whatever. And it just didn't hit right. So I think he was just throwing a jab at us. Talking about our accent come from Nigeria. There's nothing about our accent come from them folks. I'm from Mississippi. I got a southern accent. Sometimes y'all don't understand the words I be saying sometimes when I be in these videos. I have a southern drawl. It used to be way bad back in the day. I'm going to tell y'all a story about that towards the end. But that's a lie. That is a lie. There's no Igbo, Ubu, Dundu tribe that I come from, or that I don't come from, that my people don't come from, that we even have that type of sound or language. We don't even sound like them. Nobody in my family is from Africa. Nobody in my family ever said, hey, the reason why you have this southern drawl, Brian, because, you got a great grandfather that's from West Africa, and that's what we picked up from. Nah, man, my folks, man, listen, I'm gonna say this again. My grandma and my granddaddy never talked about no Africa. They always talk about being indigenous. And even then, when they was telling me about that, keep in mind I was indoctrinated at the time with the school system. I was looking at them crazy when they used to tell me that. But now I'm older, it all makes sense. Even they say we don't come from Africa. Even before slavery, we didn't come from Africa. We was here on this land. Okay? And let me tell y'all something else about Mississippi that a lot of people don't know, or, maybe some people do. But you got to think. During slavery, when we was in captivity, or when we was prisoners of war, whatever you want to call it, the people, our overseers were some Irish folks. Let me say this once again. Our overseer was some poor Irish people that came to America to be our overseers, to be the slave watcher, to be the manager. Okay? These people wasn't educated people. These people wasn't upright people that just knew everything. These were people that had low IQs. They weren't smart. They wasn't intelligent. They were just good enough for the skin that they had to watch over niggas. So think about it. When them Irish people were speaking to us, we picked up their dialect. We picked up their language. We picked up how they talk. And I know a lot of people might disagree with that, but that's true. If you look up some of the plantations out there in Mississippi, especially plantations that my people came from, the overseers was Irishmen. And you know how they talk, we picked up certain words, we picked up certain cadence from them, so they included with the already how we was talking back then in the South. I can't speak nowhere, I'm just speaking for Mississippi. Okay? When the Irishmen used to talk to the slave, the Irishmen weren't talking to us in a proper language. They were considered poor. They were considered damn near 1 foot, you know what I'm saying? We were just 1 foot below them at the time when the Irishman was in Mississippi. There was an Irishman in Warren County. I think it was in Warren County. I remember stories about him. He was dumb as a box of rocks. He just moved up because he was vicious. I think he owned 10 slaves, man. I forgot his name too, y'all. But he owned 10 slaves. He was an Irish. He was dumb as a box of rocks. So, and like I tell people all the time, even me, if I was to move to New Orleans, right, as a Mississippi person, I'm around New Orleans people all the time. And New Orleans people got that accent. Eventually, I'm going to pick it up a little bit. Maybe not talk like them, but certain words I say, if I say yes in Mississippi or yeah in Mississippi, I'm like, yeah. Or if I say baby in Mississippi, I might say, what up, baby? You know what I'm saying? I might pick that up because I'm around none but New Orleans people. You get what I'm saying? So we was around none but these white Irish people that couldn't talk right, that wasn't educated, that didn't have a vast vocabulary or nothing. They couldn't even listen. Even the word Niger, when they saw Niger or whatever like that, that's why they said nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because they couldn't pronounce the word. That's my history. Y'all history might be different. Everybody got a different story about their lineage and about their history. Okay? Southern accents don't come from no Nigeria. I don't sound nothing, and nobody from the South sound like a Nigerian. Even how he did it in the video, it just didn't sound right. That's how they sound. You got to force yourself to talk like that. You got to force yourself to think that you one of us. You're not one of us. That's why your movies flop or don't get it don't get a lot of praise when you play our Black American characters or our Black American icons. I'm sorry. It just don't work out for you. And let me tell you this, y'all, right? Let me tell you this little quick story about Southern, about the Southern drawl and stuff like that. I moved to Dallas in 2011. I've been in Dallas for about 15 years now, from Mississippi. I moved here when I was probably 27, 28 years old, around that age. Just me and my son. I had custody of my son, and I moved here for just something different. You know what I'm saying? I just want to see something different. I got tired of seeing the same people. I got tired of riding the same streets. I got tired of going to the same clubs. I got tired of seeing the same women. I got tired of my partners just popping up and stuff like that, which I didn't mind. It was cool. But I just got tired of it. And I said, man, I need to get away. And I'm just going to get away for about a year or two. But anyway, we ended up staying for 15 years. But anyway, I remember I got this job at this call center. No, that wasn't my first job. But anyway, my first job was doing something else, but it wasn't really, I ain't really had to talk. But when I first got that call center job, and when I had to speak in front of people, that was my first time really having to speak in front of people. Now keep in mind, Dallas is a melting pot also, so in Dallas people do speak proper English. You know, let me say it like that. They do speak clearly. They do pronounce their words correctly for the most part, better than I did. But anyway, when I first got there, I had that Mississippi Southern drawl, y'all. I'm talking about, I'm country now. I'm still country, but I was super country when I came to Dallas. And I'm not saying people in Mississippi don't speak clear English or proper English or nothing like that. I was just one of the ones that just was country as hell, you know. And I was talking one time, and everybody kept saying even before I got on the phone, people said, what you say? Huh? What you say? And I tell them what I said. They're like, oh, okay. And the more I talk to people, the more they just couldn't understand me. I'm like, man, like, damn, I'm saying the words, you know what I'm saying? I'm in my mind, I'm thinking I'm in Mississippi because if I'm talking about talking to someone in Mississippi, they'll understand me. So I remember I was like, somebody asked me like, how your day going? I'm like, yeah, my day going good. You know what I'm saying? I said just like that. Yeah, man, my day going good. You know what I'm saying? You know, something like that, something to that effect. They were like, huh? What you say? I said, yeah, man, my day going good. You know what I mean? So yeah, my day going, it's going good. You know, so I'm speaking in a Southern dialect and not realizing that people from all over won't understand me. Even though I have traveled the United States, I have traveled to certain places, but when you in a professional environment, you can't really speak like that. So I had issues on the phone talking to customers, all that type. That's why I don't do customers. That's why around that time I said I would never do a phone job again because that wasn't for me. But people couldn't understand what I was saying because I was speaking low, I was slurring my words, stuff like that. As time went on, I had to practice on how to say my words clearly or pronounce my words correctly and stuff like that. That's why I said sometimes in my videos I might stumble a little bit, or I might slip up and might say a word that y'all probably don't know what the hell I said, or I might mispronounce a word trying to pronounce the word correctly. You get what I'm saying? And I never had a speech impediment or anything like that. I wasn't a dumb kid or nothing. It was just me trying to fit my language so people can understand what I'm saying. Let me say that. Instead of my language only fit for Mississippi folk, because Mississippi folk understand what I'm talking about sometimes. Even when I be with some of my people that know me, and I get to talking that mumbo jumbo southern shit, they be like, damn, nigga, boy, that Mississippi came at you. You know what I mean? So I say that to say, nobody not once said, am I from Africa? Nobody once said, man, you sound African. Nobody once said you got an African accent. Even an African never told me that. Okay? Not even an African told me that. And I love my southern accent. You know what I mean? I love it. I'm still working on certain words. You know what I'm saying? That's why I try to overdo my words when I speak. But that's something I recognize. You know what I'm saying? That's something that helped me out too in creating content. Helped me with TikTok. People like, man, I love your southern drawl, man. You got a country accent, you got country twang, how you talk. But sometimes I listen back to my videos, I can hear certain words that I say that I don't fully pronunciate it. You know what I'm saying? I drag the word, or I just might miss a vowel or something in that motherfucker or something like that. But for an African to say that, y'all, I think is highly, highly disrespectful. And what's so funny about it, that same actor came back and apologized for what he said. He wrote a statement talking about, I didn't mean subservience in that matter. I love my southern people, blah. I didn't mean, that type of mess. And the backlash took him down through there. And with Godfrey and that other African guy, because that's who was interviewing David, I think Godfrey, in my opinion, finding his lane where I'm a dig at the Black Americans. Because he see how we be dragging the Black Americans. I mean, he be seeing how we be dragging the Africans and stuff like that, And I think his feelings are hurt. Because I think he really did look up to Black Americans at one point in time. But I guess with this delineation movement and how we not allowing people to control on what we should get. We not allowing people to tell us who invented what. We not allowing people to tell us who we should vote for. We not allowing people to tell us what was created. We created. We did that. And I think he don't like that. And I think he found the lane. And he understand. He got a little notoriety. And he know if he even act passive aggressive talking about foundational Black Americans, he know he's gonna get clicks and views, which I can't knock. But at the same time, it goes to show you that even Africans can't be trusted. Even Africans are COONs. Even Africans that once was on your side, that claim to be allies of Black Americans, eventually will always side with the African. And that's why I think enough of us is on code with each other and we understand we need to work together. As long as we have that, we will be fine. But anyway, what's y'all thoughts on that African that said what he said about Black Americans, or about, our ancestors and how our ancestors talk with their southern accent? Do you think that our southern accent come from Africa? You think it come from the Igbo and the Dandele tribe? Do y'all believe that? Answer in the comments below. I love y'all. Salute and thank y'all for the support. Make sure y'all subscribe to my channel, man. Help a boy grow. But anyway, I love y'all.